two African giants, Nigeria and South Africa. They dominate conversations about the continent's music. On one side, you have Afrobeats, a global phenomenon led by superstars like Burna Boy, Davido, Ira Star, Rema, Ashake, Wizkid, plenty. I know I didn't mention Thames, but we'll talk about that one another time. On the other hand, Amapiano, a genre born in South Africa, is reshaping global dance floors with leaders like DJ Maphorisa, Kabza De Small, Tyler in part, but again, we'll have that conversation another day. Come on, Pela, Focalistic, Uncle Waffles, well, who though not South African, found her fame there. Major League DJs and Tyler, I See You, there's just plenty, man. Dip and Gogo, whatever. But there's one question we need to answer today. Does this fierce rivalry between Nigeria and South Africa help or hurt African music? And I'm going to answer that question for you today. Buckle up. This is the no BS version. This Nigeria versus South Africa rivalry did not start overnight, and it's rooted in two key factors. Firstly, people from both Nigeria and South Africa have immense national pride. I mean, when it comes to Africa, those two countries have serious pride in, being Nigerian and being South African. They're very territorial when it comes to representing their countries, their cultures, their flag, all of that. And while this pride can translate online in bad taste sometimes, it also fuels that high-level competition between the two countries and the back and forth, man, the banter, the yabbing, all that. This pride has led to conversations and debates about who makes better music, which country produces more internationally acclaimed artists, who has won more Grammys, and so forth. It's the kind of rivalry where both sides actually push each other to constantly up their game. And honestly speaking, I would actually take this away from music a little bit. This is kind of like Messi versus Ronaldo. Messi doesn't get to Messi heights without Ronaldo, and Ronaldo doesn't get to Ronaldo heights without Messi. That back and forth, they needed to sort of, feed off each other's energy and have that competition to actually really become as great as they became. And that's kind of like Nigeria and South Africa, in music, of course. Quick side note, check out my website, mjwemoto.com, which is mjwemoto.com. I have some serious African music merch on there that I've designed myself. Check it out. Purchase something, honestly. mjwemoto.com. And that brings me to the second factor. For the past decade, the most dominant African genres on the global stage have come from these two countries. Around the time Nigeria was stamping its authority internationally, we saw monumental hits, man. When Wizkid collaborated with Drake on One Dance, and I think it's Kyla, that's her name. Davido's songs, which just went crazy internationally, Fall and If. And then Burna Boy's massive hit, Yeah. Yo. Some of the biggest Afrobeat songs you will ever get. And each of these songs really took Afrobeats to a new level and pushed Nigerian music firmly into that global spotlight. So a lot of the success that we're seeing, Nigeria enjoying now, was worked on long ago. And these are some of those hits that, kind of played a part. Meanwhile, South Africa was dominating with its own sound at the time. A high energy genre that became one of Africa's big breakout sounds. And what was cool about is the fact that it was unconventional, man. Anybody who studied music and all of that stuff would tell you, nah, this doesn't sound right, but the world fell in love with that sound. So much so that it featured prominently on the Black Panther soundtrack. Man, come on. With, Babes Odumo's Wololo is one of the standout tracks also. And then there was Shoma Josie, who took South Africa's sound global with gqom hit John Cena. Remember that time? And she was appearing on like freaking, I don't know, daily shows and what with that song. Yeah, she went far. And it captured the world's attention. This wasn't a one-time phenomenon. The two countries continued to go head to head as they introduced new sounds to Africa and the world. When Burna Boy received his first Grammy nomination, for an Afrobeats album, which was crazy. It was like, whoa, And Wizkid dropped the legendary Made in Lagos with the massive hit Essence featuring Thames. South Africa was just starting to take over the scene with Amapiano as well. This back and forth kept both countries at the top of Africa's music landscape, and look where we are now, with each one of them pioneering new sounds that the world couldn't ignore, and both of them really pushing Africa to the world. This long-standing competition isn't just about one song or one genre, it's about two countries constantly pushing boundaries, pioneering new sounds, creating the level of talent that Africa has been dreaming of for a very long time, and raising the bar for what African music can be on the world stage. So for years, Nigeria and South Africa have been at it, each fueling each other's rise, and it doesn't look like that will change anytime soon, because remember, we were talking about the Grammys just recently. This year, 2024, Tyler won the Grammy for Best African Music Performance, which was the first year that category was a thing. And, she got the backlash from Nigerians like, oh, this is our category. Why is your song winning? Blah, 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 blah. And then, as it were, now with the 2025 Grammy nominees, which were announced not too long ago, there are no South African artists in that category, and they're only Nigerian artists, save for Chris Brown, who featured two Nigerian artists on the song that was nominated. Funny, huh? And obviously, there's this like, South Africans are also feeling like, Tyler deserved to be there, blah, 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 all that stuff. That's the back and forth between these two countries. But let's just address the actual question here. Is this rivalry hurting or helping African music? Personally, I think this rivalry is mostly great for African music. Once you look past the toxicity on platforms like X and YouTube and whatever, that's when you really see that it is a lot like Messi and Ronaldo, the rivalry that pushes both sides to give us even better versions of themselves. And this is what African music always needed. That healthy competition between, two countries that are really producing fantastic stars and great music while at it, Nigeria versus South Africa in African music, those are two countries that take immense pride in what they do, and the rivalry drives them to set the bar higher. And the result is innovative sounds and groundbreaking music that really pushes African music much further into the global spotlight. And because the fans of both countries basically are quite vocal online, that also really puts, it shines a light on both sets of countries and the genres that they produce. You kind of need stuff like that, And this is part of why I say I think it's actually mostly helping Africa. Or African music to reach beyond Africa's shores. One of the most interesting aspects of this particular rivalry is that Nigerian and South African musicians themselves, they absolutely have no animosity towards each other. In fact, they work together extremely well, and we've actually seen some top-tier collaborations that blend the best of both countries, right? And just to name a few, think of Davido featuring Musa Keys on Unavailable, which was, by the way, nominated for a Grammy for 2024, this past one that happened in February. There's Tyler and Ira Star on Girl Next Door. There's Davido, Vigro Deep and Focalistic on Kista Remix, one of the first sort of Nigerian, if not the first sort of superstar Amapiano remix that existed. Huge. Then Tito M and DRP's Chalabam remix with Brenner Boy, huge song, huge remix. Brenner Boy's feature on Master KG and Nongebo's Gode's Jerusalem remix, another huge remix. Major League DJs and Victonio and Margaret, Joe Boy and Master KG, and then Tiwa Savage with Major League DJs and DJ Maporisa and Kuku Fan. Plenty. There's way more that I didn't name. But the point is, South African and Nigerian artists are leveraging the fan-fueled rivalry to create some of the biggest hits we've ever seen come out of Africa. They don't go at each other. They actually work together. And this musical camaraderie is beautiful. It shows the deep love and respect these artists have for each other's talents. And just the other week, Tiwa Savage, there was a video of Tiwa Savage vibing to Show Majozi's latest single, Kadigong.
She just did a song that I heard and I think is so fire.
I fucking love this song!
Moments like these highlight the genuine appreciation they have for each other's hard work, these Nigerian and South African artists, and it's beautiful to see. But here's the thing. This rivalry, genuinely speaking, is fan-fueled. It's driven by territorial fans who honestly might just have a bit too much free time on their hands. I don't know. When we're scrolling through comments on X, it's important to remember that sometimes maybe you're debating with a 16-year-old who's just bored in their bedroom and they didn't go to school that day for whatever reason, or I don't know. Someone who probably doesn't fully understand the history of African music, and they're using, trolling and all that online as entertainment. This is why we have to take internet comments with a grain of salt and learn to agree to disagree respectfully. We don't have to share the same opinions, but there's no need for insults. Remember, most of this animosity, it exists only online, where people are, hiding behind being faceless, and they kind of say all the junk they can't say to someone's face. And that's how it is sometimes. All in all, Africa is in a much better place with this rivalry between Nigeria and South Africa, especially when it sparks friendly competition and new ways of amplifying African music beyond the continent's borders, even if it starts online or on social platforms actually, and then it becomes exporting music thereafter. This kind of rivalry has driven both Nigerian and South African artists to put out some of their best work, and that's what we want to see. We want more music. Other African countries can look at Nigeria and South Africa's example and see how friendly competition combined with that national pride can benefit not just their own music industries, but the entire African music scene. If they find ways to join this party, they too can benefit from the global attention that African music is receiving right now. So you tell me, does the Nigeria versus South Africa rivalry help or hurt African music? What are your thoughts? Share your comments below, and do you think other African countries should get in on the action? Can they even get in on the action, or should they concentrate on the music first right now, then try to get in on the action later? Otherwise, that's it for me. My name is MJ Wemoto, son of Zimbabwe, signing out. Peace. Ndende.